Alright, hi, welcome to the demo of RUNT. So I actually had this game, or the demo of this game installed for God knows how many months by now, but I've been procrastinating playing it, and now the game is set to release in 3 days. I've had this for months, and I procrastinated so hard that that happened. Not the first time it's happened, but anyways. So, this is RUNT. This is a gothic horror sort of, I'm not sure if it's horror, but it's ominous, it's dark, sort of gothic rural visual novel where you follow RUNT, who, is the youngest of 5 brothers, and they are surviving this weird, monstrous post-apocalypse. And so yeah, without further ado, grab a cup of coffee, and let's get going with the demo of RUNT. Okay. Warning, within this game there are depictions of physical and emotional abuse, animal death, gore, blood, body horror, verbal homophobia, verbal misogyny, and verbal sexism. There are descriptions of physical and emotional abuse, suicidal thoughts, animal death, gore, blood, body horror, religious trauma, homophobia, misogyny, sexism, pregnancy, and fratricide. Basically killing your brother. Or brethren, or whatever you want to call it. Any opinions provided by characters in the game do not reflect those of developer and publisher of RUNT. Yes, so media literacy is important. It is important to note that just because things are depicted in a certain form of media doesn't mean that whoever is behind said media condones that sort of behavior and stuff like that. More likely or not, it's meant to be a commentary, and it's meant to sort of, get the viewer to sort of reflect on the matter, even if it's uncomfortable and stuff like that. So do note that. I think it's very important. So chances are I won't play the full demo, but I still need to sort of get these warnings out. And there are 2 versions where there is a censored setting in the settings, but I opted for the uncensored version of the game because I think it's important. Press tab to skip opening. Hold down spacebar to fast forward through dialogue. Dialogue choices cannot be skipped while fast forwarding. Got it. I don't know how many times I've written this. I feel like I'm running out of pages, but each time I think about what happened that week, I remember more and more until it becomes this big puzzle of details that just don't fit right. I'm gonna start over, right from the beginning. My name is RUNT. Me and my brothers live out near Skipclaw, on the perimeter, right where the land meets the forest. There are 5 of us: Hunter, Tanner, Carver, Fisher, and me. Everyone has a role, and then RUNT is just, oh yeah, you're the youngest one. You're RUNT. I was 9 when it all happened. All I ever heard was that the big power station over in Grenshaw blew up, and when the smoke filled the air, it never left. All connections and wired crap like that never got up and running again. It's black and gray every day since that power station blew up. It's black and gray everywhere as far as anyone knows. Stars don't even show up at night. We almost starved that first year. Nobody ever came for us out here in Skipclaw. No army, no government, and food won't grow easy in a world like this. Animals don't like it too much neither. There's a rift in the world now, a crack in reality. Dad would have known what to do. It was said there was a war out there. That's why it was hard on us. There was going to be a war someday between the righteous and the unrighteous. A war for our souls. Dad was doing his best. Dad always said he was a righteous man in a world full of sickness and perversion. He preached the whiles down south until most of his flock turned away from the truth God had given him. It was too hard for him, I guess. God demands a lot. He demands a lot so he can give a lot. And Dad was the mouth of God. He could whip a crowd into frenzy like nothing, crying and dropping to the floor and speaking tongues the way God wanted him to, to show him that he was there and he was real, and Dad was the mouth of God. Look, I'll point this for a thumbnail. It was too much for those of little faith. Dad left, taking a bit of land on the outskirts of Skipclaw, where he was going to prepare us for the war and the end of time. Oh man, I'm mumbling too much. He started saying we didn't need the town. We were better off without the world. Ah, Chimkin, Georgie, Nammy. He said evil came in through the radio and the TV stations, the bags of chicken feed and the starter potatoes and the seed and all the friends we'd made. All we really needed was each other and our faith. Isolation is, a cult tactic and stuff like that. If things were hard, God wanted them to be hard. If we were unhappy, it's because we weren't right with God, and because we had tainted the earth with our sins. Dad did what he could, but he wasn't trained to run our little outpost at the edge of the wilderness. He had been a juvie warden during seminary. He picked up a few things, knew a few guys who built us a bunker and filled it with enough rations to keep us going for a few years. Everything else we had was books, copies and copies and copies of Dad's teachings he had printed on his own dime. His own friggin' dime, he used to say, right in the face because no one wanted them, because no one was ready to open their hearts to God enough to buy one. Those were the first things I ever learned to read. I didn't know picture books were a thing until I was too old to read them. We failed Dad. All of us. And he punished us the way you punish a grown man. We starved and froze and dried out in the heat. We slept short hours up at the croc, what the hell? Like rocks. Up at the crack of dawn till so late in the night you couldn't stand on your own 2 feet anymore. No matter how tired or thin we got, we did our work. We had to survive. Survive the tests, the never-ending tests. And then Dad got sick. He had a disease whose name I think Hunter knows, but I forgot. He needed shots. When the world went up in a bunch of black smoke, all the medicine went with it. Not that Dad ever believed in any of it before. You can't really ever trust what the government was doing. But that medicine he needed. Somehow he found some. He took it religiously. And we ran out. That was it. Well. One day he was alive, and oh my God. I was gonna say and the next day he wasn't, but okay. And one day he wasn't. He died after years of wasting away right when he was needed most, when the world with its apocalypse proved him right. Of course, we had to go back into town then. We needed them. They needed us too, it seemed. Hunter fixed it all up. 5 of us strong boys with enough guns and ammo for a small army became the army of Skipclaw. We patrolled, we policed, we hunted, and we maintained the perimeter. Nobody comes and goes without Hunter knowing about it. No one goes out at night without Hunter knowing about it. No one so much as sneezed without Hunter's permission. Hunter's word was law. The whole town was ours, and thrived as best as it could under the unbearable weight of an endless blackened sky. Would Dad be proud? I guess it doesn't matter now. Dad was gone. Mom died giving birth to me, and none of us knew what to feel. We were on our own. It was 5 years to the day of his death when everything changed, all because of what we saw in the church. Awfully ominous now. Runt, get up. Why is there a fly in my room? You better be moving by the time I get there. Get up, quit hiding. Carver stood over me. I couldn't see his face, but just knew he was sneering at me. I'm up. You scribbling in your little diary again? Kinda girly, isn't it? Is he up? He's up, writing his damn little book again. You ready to go, Runts? No lollygagging now. I have no idea what that actually means, and yeah, I said I was up. Oh, we back talking now? Carver, we don't have time. It's not my fault we're late. Runt's been hiding from us. Again. Can't sniff me out anymore under that thing. Don't you get lippy with me. I'll friggin' knock you inside, upside the head. I'll friggin' throw your bed out the pond, you hear me? What are y'all squabbling about? We're just talking to Runt. He says he's ready. I can speak for myself, you know. Yeah, well, you weren't speaking earlier, were you? Yeah, that's why I'm glad I didn't grow up with any big brothers. I think I've suffered enough at the hands of my cousins. They were the equivalent. Yeah. It was the anniversary of Dad's death, on a Sunday no less. We were going to church. We call it a church, but it's really just a rickety old storehouse we fixed up to serve something holy. I really didn't want to go. Carver, friggin' asshole that he was right. I had been hot, and foolish as it was, I hoped that they wouldn't find me. I wanted to see their oh my god. Flashlights sweeping past the windows, hearing them calling out my name before giving up and going on without me. One of them would unload on me, probably Hunter, but at least I wouldn't be in that church. But that's why I was Runt, the little guy, the weak guy, the one hiding under the bed from the switch. That was found me because I still hadn't learned that lesson. I had to get my stuff packed before I went. As I stood from my little nook between the kitchen and the basement, I saw my backpack had spilled everywhere. All my things were scattered across the floor. I knew it was Carver. Luckily, I had my flashlight. To pick up items, search the environment with your flashlight. You often need to dig through a lot of trash or clutter to find exactly what you need. When you find what you're looking for, click on it to add it to your bag. Cool. My journal, a radio, a map, and a paper with the code. Okay, I can do that, probably. Oh, radio. I have no idea what that was. This whole thing just moves. What the heck? Oh, there's the journal. Paper with a code. It's 60 to be 60. What the heck? What the balls, man? Okay. I actually can't tell where I'm supposed to go, to be honest. What is that thing, anyways? A paper with a code. What the heck? Am I blind? I might be blind. Oh, yeah, I'm blind. I had to sort my crap out, make sure it was all in the best spot to grab. I remember checking my bag. You examine your items in your inventory by hovering over their icons. Giving items a closer look can help with puzzles and requests. Your inventory can be opened by clicking on your bag. You can open your inventory while in dialogue. All the items you collect can be examined here in your bag, but for now, let's get your radio and journal ready. Click on each of them to place them permanently on your HUD. When you're done looking around your bag, click the strap at the bottom left to close it. Got it. Okay. My flashlight beat to hell. It's so heavy. If the batteries run out, I could use it to crack somebody's skull open. It's my journal. Okay, I'm not gonna speak in depresso voice too often. I write down everything I need in here. A radio. Can't believe this thing still works. My map of the town. I've drawn it so much that it's barely holding together. The padlock code scribbled on a slip of paper. It reads, Order. Order in the court? Guess. Sure. Oh, I only have 3 items in my... Okay, sure. I don't need a journal. Get the journal out of here. How to unselect you. Ah, yeah. Click on your radio to switch it on and off. The radio only plays music, which changes depending on where you are and who you're talking to. Now let's check out our journal. Your journal is where you keep track of your thoughts, feelings, and your to-do list. Scribble notes on your changing feelings and your to-do list can be both found on the Me page, while the rest of the journal contains everything else. Whenever you see a red I almost said squirrel, I'm like, wait, no, that's a rodent. Swirl in the upper right hand corner of the screen, something important has been added to your journal. Below your Me page is your mind map. This mind map will automatically collect and connect key pieces of information during conversations and display how they relate to each other, if at all. You'll get a new mind map each day to help track of evolving leads as the week progresses. When you're done checking out your journal, head out to meet your brothers, but be quick about it. They aren't that patient. Click on the hand on the bottom left corner to close your journal. I feel irritated. I can't put my finger on it. My dreams are only vague nightmares. Don't feel too much about myself. I hope my rounds go quick, and I should do it right now. Did my shift by myself today. Everyone had to prepare for Dad's. I don't know what you call it. Funeral. It's like we're burying him over and over again. Brothers. My brother Tanner's the second oldest. Real quiet, real hard to read. Follows Carver around like a dog. Don't understand why those two can be more different if you tried. Whereabouts on Sunday? Why would they do it? How would they do it? What happens on fifth day? The mill strayer. A mouthy ass. Oh, I guess I can say it. Asshole, always fun. Wisecracking and trying to start crap. Like making myself as miserable as possible. One day I'll land a punch on this piece of garbage. My brother Fisher is just a few years older than me. Whip smart and with an ardent faith in Dad's teachings. I get the feeling that he don't like us too much, given how much time he spends at the rehydro station. Oh, there's okay, I guess this is the likability meter, or whatever. Townies, creatures, me. Sunday, okay, got it. There was no sense in waiting. I had put it off long enough. Got my things in my backpack and went out the door of our house. Everyone was waiting for me. Crap. Took you long enough. You did this last year. What's your damn problem? I stayed silent. There wasn't anything I could say. No answer, no reason was ever enough. Cat's got your tongue like usual. Too good to be talking to us. We got everything. Waiting on Hunter now. He was scoping, making sure the path's clear. No outsiders come around today. Schedule was set. No patrol for any of us today. Except RUNT. Should have done one. I had done one. Crack of dawn, shivering along the perimeter before the sun attempted its daily battle to break through the clouds. Was it being truthful? Did anyone see him? I tried being quiet. You think he's a liar, Carver? Well, he wasn't being a real forthcoming earlier, was he? But he got halfway around the fence and took a load off under some sycamore. I tried to be quiet. Really, I did. Carver, don't be saying crap now. Come to think of it, he was also missing all yesterday. Tell the truth, RUNT. Well, you okay then? At key points in conversations throughout the game, you get to decide what RUNT will say. Some of the dialogue choices you make will alter your personality and can change how certain characters react to you. Hints as to how your personality is shifting inside of you as the result of your choices can be seen on the Me page in your journal. Please, Carver, not they. Check the log sheet on the flicker. Oh, I'm so tempted. Oh man, since this is just a demo, I'm gonna go the most aggressive route possible. Quit picking at me, you. Okay, well, what'd you say to me? You ain't never seen a... Okay then. Too freaking shy to even say hi to a runt. Jesus. We fell silent, standing our little half circle around Hunter. He towered over us, bare skins draped over his I was almost at large ass, but I guess big ass frame, making him even bigger than he actually was. Okay, that's scary. Jesus, okay. We were all on edge. See, Hunter was in a black mood. Had been for a few days at that point. It was like this shadow that swallowed all the light around him, half hiding him against the prairie grass. You could feel it even before it got close to you. This horrible heaviness, muted only by the weight of his big old bear skin cloak. See, Hunter had a dog named River, this shaggy, vicious thing that snapped at anyone that wasn't Hunter. I couldn't tell you what kind of dog it was, some kind of mutt that I swore was part wolf. Those two loved each other more than anything, certainly more than Hunter ever loved us. He never hit River, not once. He well liked us better. We were all his dogs, loyal, silent, obedient, even without the ability to question his command. But River died a few days ago. Hunter didn't say much else on it. Not how or why or when, only that River died. He kept the mutt hidden away, not letting any of us get close to it. I could only take his word that River had passed. None of us had the words to comfort each other. I was silent when he told us, standing stone still among the chickens in the yard that early morning. No doubt everyone else was the same. That black moon, the days that followed River's death, built and built, like wood heaped on invisible fire. That silent heat rippled around us as we stood before him. I wish I could say I had pity for him, for River to die and then having to deal with Dad's anniversary right after. But I think I was scared more than anything. All this heat had to go somewhere. God help who it struck. Ready? He turned towards us, face black under the teeth of his hood. I nodded. We all nodded. We were waiting for RUNT. He was hiding. I wasn't hiding. How many times do I gotta say it? Enough. His hand was on my shoulder, even through my jacket, through his gloves. I could feel his strength, his power. Them fingers dug in tight. Let's go. RUNT, take point. I knew my brothers were sneering under their masks. Taking a point was not something to be proud of. It was the first line of defense if we got attacked. The first wall of meat. They all started gathering her things, little things we would bring to leave in Dad's memory. His sermon book, his pamphlet, some candles. He ain't got no body or grave. We had to burn him so it wouldn't attract them. It became a tradition that we'd all take a little trinket or something, and that would be Dad, his presence, his spirit. We were always finding bits of him everywhere at home, like somehow in his death, his ghost had to come home, and I don't know, melted with the house. His hair, his clothes, his writings, every nook and cranny was there, always watching us, like it never left. RUNT. Yes. Let's bug out. Now. It was a bad idea to keep him waiting any longer. You're mapping in the lower right corner of your near your bag. You'll use your map to move around Skipclaw and see the lay of the land. For now, open your map and head to the church. Okay then. Church, okay, got it. Where are we now? Dad's office. Hot bath. Bess's shop. Food stores. Yeah, I don't know where. Weird house. Home. Oh, okay then. Oh, I guess it's just this little passage. With each step, my feet got heavy. I was stomping on sticks and dry grass and getting cuffed at the back of the head by Carver when I slowed down. Nobody said anything, but each time I lagged, I could feel the heat of their eyes on my neck. Hunter halted, raised a hand. Stop. Down. We dropped. We didn't disobey. Not in this world. Hesitation got you killed. 9 o'clock. There, just beyond the top of the fence. We lay on the crest of the hill, looking down into the shallow, dry gulch. We shuffled in the grass, positioning ourselves just beneath the bush. We smelled it before we saw it, that thick, acrid, musky scent. There it was. We have all sorts of names for him. Hunter calls them the unholy. Tanner and Fisher call them lung dogs along with most of the town. Carver calls them those flesh. To me, they're always twisters. What twisters? Well, how else are you supposed to get the head off? You always hear them if they're close. Them big sacks pressing out air and wheezing and breathing and gurgling sound like death rattles. Even more than the breathing, I hate their eyes. I'd never seem to blink. Even before I knew all that they could do, I wanted to put a bullet in their skulls just for those lids to finally drop and quit staring at me. They appeared after the blackout, pouring in from some unknown place for some unknown purpose, something more than animal, less than human. We had our rifles, but they had the dark, the never-ending dark. I tried to focus. Nothing good comes from daydreaming on the battlefield. We watched as it swayed in the field, as high and low in the grass. Hunter prepped his rifle and waited. Typically, we aimed to engage and scare them off as quickly as possible, but wasted bullet. As we crouched there, I felt a hand bump mine, knocking my flashlight. Couldn't tell you who, but my gut says it was Carver. I couldn't move quick enough. My flashlight blasted on over the fence and now across the field. Who friggin'? Stop talking. Okay, oh man, I wish I had a better look at this. We all stilled at Hunter's heavy command and I'll beat the crap out of you so much as breathe tone I was all too familiar with. The beam caught the twister as it tore and mawed at some creature. We watched, unable to look away. The sounds carried over the prairie, wet and sinewy and echoed in the cold. In the dark grass, I felt a firm hand paw around towards mine. Took my flashlight and went to flick it off. As it did, the sound of beam powering off cracked into the night. The twister looked up. It was near black in the field, the twister a liquid shadow against the grass. Hunter lifted his gun. The twister twitched. And disappeared, quick as it came. We waited, breathing low against the swaying grass. When it didn't return, we slowly stood up and kept on. A jab in my back from someone's gun urged me back to the front. It felt as if I was marching towards my doom, which, if I think on it, I guess I was. I never got over how the church looked that night. The way the water had seeped from the window to look like the tear stains from a weeping eye. Where? I guess it's too dark for me to really see anything, actually. Yeah. Like it was living. What the hell? Why did I say that? Living. It felt bad. Nobody was coming to it no more. After that passed, service slowed. Nobody could take on his work. Nobody had his speech, his tongue, his way of moving. He could make you believe in miracles. He could make you believe in anything. He was an unstoppable force, like a tornado or a hurricane. You could feel the emptiness in that church when he died. Like all the air went out the room. Nobody took over. Not even Hunter. So it was locked up. All the faithfuls that died before him anyway, or went off into skeptical after he died. We used to occasionally, for important days like today, or for meetings if things ever got bad. We were here the day the blackout happened, bright 1 second and black the second after. I hid in their pews while people scrambled in panic outside. You can still see the blood on the floor from the few times the twister's broken. Wait, so it was immediately after the blackout? Like instantly, it seems? Finding our way back home to the farm, we lost a lot of people. I was only 9. I covered my eyes. Perhaps the last time my brothers were nice to me was back then when they guided me home. I didn't cry. They told me not to, so I didn't. I'm 19 now, and I've cried a lot since then. Can't help it. After all, I was RUNT. Who's got the code? Not me. I got it. Go. Get. I had never been given the code before. Them trusting me with the code was new. Them trusting me at all was new. We're waiting, RUNT. Get to it, boy. It's freaking cold out here. I had no time to think on it. I went forward towards that hollow, haunted place. You only complete a variety of puzzles and chores in order to progress through sections of the game. Some are simple, while others will require a bit more thought. Check your inventory, talk to people, and think carefully about how to approach the puzzle. If you need help, check the question mark tab that will be present at each puzzle. I'm so bad at this. Order. Okay, got it. Oh, there you go. Or I think that's a D. Yes, sirree. Once the lock opened, I felt a darkness pass through me. I haven't cracked the door open yet, but something strange and cold was seeping out from underneath the door. It wasn't a draft or like a wind or anything, but just something evil. My brothers always said I was too sensitive, too soft. They called me girly and weak and flighty, but if I had known what was beyond those doors and how it would change all our lives, I would have run then and there. Run and run and run and never look back. Oh. Can't see crap in here. Are those intestines? Oh no. Well, crit. Quit complaining and get a candle going. Smells funny in here. That inky black feeling only got thicker. You can smell through that? Smell? Wait, yeah, I can smell it too now. What is that? Hush. We fell silent. My nerves were twitching like a guilty sinner. Light it up, boys. Boys? I gotta stop doing an accent. Beam sky high. Your flashlights suck. Why can't you illuminate it like mine? What the hell is that? You, RUNT, go check it out. Me? Why me? Just go, craphead. My hands were trembling. My gun rattled in my grip. I couldn't, at that time, explain even to my numb, dumb self why I felt the way I felt. It was something like a hunter's gut, an instinct. Dad would have called it divine insight. My brothers would have called it being a pussy. I stepped closer in the dark. I was suddenly assaulted by this deathly smell, rotten and sour, like the vinegar in our canning room. My steps creaked, mixing with the cold wind blowing in from outside. But there was something else too. This slow, thick dripping. I'm trembling now as I write it. What a thing we saw. What it did to us. 5 days. We stood in stunned silence while we each took in the message written the odds and ends of dozens of creatures. Was it a warning? Was it a threat? We didn't know then, but it was a promise. A promise that would be fulfilled by me. What a setup. We left the church stunned and silent, Hunter radiating heat like a fire made out of hate. It was a violation, you see, an unholy mess made of that sacred day. It made him mad. So mad. Not that he would ever say it, not with words. He didn't need to. You could feel that heat coming off of him in waves, and it whipped us all into stupid silence. He took point. We followed him with our tails between our legs, no one talking, not even Carver. As we walked, the feeling the church followed us home again, our sixth most important brother. I couldn't shake it. I don't know if anyone else felt it, but from how our heads hung low, it was like our own shadows were too heavy. It was late when we got home, deep night. I almost cursed the old screen door for creaking too loud and slammed my ass on the way in, but Hunter was already up the stairs. We weren't going to talk about it yet. Then, I don't know why the then was there, but sure. I sort of wanted to talk about it right then and there. The longer he was quiet, the worse it was going to get when he finally wasn't. I settled down on my cold mattress with a knot in my stomach. The feeling grew, gnawing and twisting like it was going to come out of my throat. Every time I was almost asleep, it woke me back up, like it was tapping me on the shoulder, not wanting to let me forget it. I had done something wrong that night at church. What it was, I didn't quite know yet. The way things were around here, maybe I never would. I lay on my mattress, my eyes closed in the dark, trying to keep myself calm. The feeling haunted me, this feeling of failure. I know I'm tripping over my words so much. Day 1, Monday. I love how erratic the animation is. Like, everything is so rough. I think it does a good job at fitting in with the aesthetic. It didn't matter how bad I slept that night. I was up before the crack of dawn, first out of the hen house to let the girls out, then right back in to scrub down the kitchen before I fixed up breakfast. A life like this didn't let you feel sorry for yourself for too long. House stuff was my job, mainly cooking and cleaning, watching the hens and tending the little garden out back. Every day I fixed breakfast and dinner. No exceptions, no days off, no matter how piss poor Tanner said my cooking was. At least they let me off the hook for lunch, so he can take it somewhere and skip claw if they could. Breakfast that morning was nothing but eggs scrambled up with a few sorry sausages and toast. Butter and jam would keep them happy, keep their mouths full from talking too, and would it keep me happy too? I jabbed at the sausages sizzling in the pan. I could hear somebody's getting up in their room, and that twisted feeling returned to my stomach like a gut punch. I hadn't felt this bad since Dad died, but I couldn't say nothing. Even if anyone else felt the same way, I couldn't say anything. Nobody would care. I set out plates, and just on time, as if they could hear the clunking, everyone shuffled into the room. Hunter first, then Fisher, scratching his neck and yawning, shaking his head like a dog as he sat, and then Carver and Tanner, right together like they always were. In the backyard, the rooster crowed in the morning. Lord our God, we come to you as underserving sinners with thanks for the bounty you have seen fit to put upon our table. Keep your hand heavy upon us as you lead us through the trials of this earth and form us into soldiers of your will. Amen. We were silent then, waiting for Hunter to speak more, but he just pulled his hands up, back, and picked up his fork, and he started eating. We followed suit, and once all our mouths were stuffed, he finally spoke. Who did it? He looked around at us. You couldn't see his eyes, but you could feel him boring into you from under the teeth of his mask. Did what? Ow! Carver jumped high enough in his seat to clatter all the plates on the table. I saw why. Tanner had stepped on his foot under the table. What do you think, genius? We didn't do nothing. We wouldn't do that to Dad. You mean the thing in the church? Hell nah. We ain't got time to be pulling crap like that. Are you friggin' crazy? Carver, baffled as he always was by a hunter trying to chastise him, had his hands up, fork still gripped in one. Fisher wiped a sweaty palm on his dirty pant leg. Tanner stared at Carver, then back at Hunter. Someone must be punished. You mean killed? Ain't it a bit much to kill someone over this? Hunter turned and clapped his hand. Hunter turned and clamped his hand over the back of Tanner's neck. He leaned in, pulling Tanner's head down and close so he could speak right in his ear. His voice was hot and low. You want them unpunished? Is that the message you wish to send for the defamation of our church? The mockery of our day of mourning. You don't want us to do nothing? It's all friggin' right to do that to us. Is that what you want to say to them? I knew that hand, how hard it could squeeze. It was like a vice. 5 seconds in, and you weren't sure he was gonna start snapping bones. Tanner bore it, silent, didn't move a muscle. You know what? No, I'm not gonna do anything. Let him... You two, for your balls in for a friggin' dolly on one of your trips into Skip Claw. Stat it. His hand didn't relax on Tanner's neck. My eyes would have been watering at this point, but he couldn't move or whine or show any of the pain, or he'd make it worse. Let him friggin' go so he can eat his friggin' breakfast. He ain't doing nothing. If it's a townie playing a prank, hell, I'd be happy to scare myself, but we'll get hell from Skip Claw if we do a thing like that. Just... Jesus Christ, Hunter, let him friggin' go. Whip fast, Hunter slammed Tanner's head down on the edge of the table. I heard the wind leave his lungs. He staggered, and Carver lunged forward to start fussing on him. Crap, Hunter! What the hell's wrong with you? He's right. Tanner's voice was weak, warbling, his breath slow and deliberate. His hands gripped the edge of the table as Carver uselessly cradled his shoulders. We have to send a message to whoever did this. They can't screw with us. Sure. Well, we will. We just gotta be stealthy, that's all. You'll find that son of a gun, Hunter. Don't you worry about a thing. We'll find him and string up on his... Jesus. Right, Hunter? That'd be alright, wouldn't it? If it wasn't a human. The whole table turned to look at him. Fisher worked his hand up under his mask to scratch again. You think it's one of those... unholy... I mean, both of them can do stuff. We've all seen it. It was true. We had all seen it. Every time somebody died to one of those things, we saw it. Twisters were cunning, willy things with a taste of scattering their prey when they were done eating it. Bones this way, half-chewed organs that way, each making some kind of symbol if you looked at it too long. Like it was trying to say something you were too stupid to understand, or too scared. That message in the church could have been Twister attack, a few of them in the pack. But could have been a smoke. There were still at first lights throwing shadows that didn't quite match up, shadows that moved when you weren't looking right at them. Some folks say it was our eyes adjusting, like it was some kind of effect on the shadow in the sky, a withdrawal from the lack of light. Then people started disappearing, more and more and more, just wandering off in the night. And then when they were found, they were always in some old barn or abandoned building. The bodies. You couldn't tell who they were anymore. All you knew was that they were human. Once, they were a person. Once. Now, they were just corpses, curled up like dead bugs, skins and faces dried to paper, like old corn husks. Hunter called a town meeting after the first few bodies were found, and the town came to a conclusion on a few things. There was something new out there. It liked the dark, and it needed people to be alone. After that, we paired up, kept flashlights on us as much as we could to ward off darkness. But it's always dark now. You can't be with someone else around the clock non-stop, even if you like him a lot. That's why we got these masks. What the hell? These masks, they protect us. I'll tell you that story in our time. Basically, the smokes can't see us with them on, like we're camouflaged. That's why we wear them now. As long as we're out of the dark, as long as we're not alone, as long as we hide our faces, the smokes can't get to us. Funny, I think I've seen my brother's masks more than I've seen their faces. Some townies I've only ever known through their masks. My mask was... Oh, we get to decide. Interesting. A car tire. Well, not the tire, but, you know. A burlap sack. Okay. What is this? My fox mask or bird, I haven't decided. Carver hates it. Says it's too close to his, but screw him. But I ain't here or there. I watched Fisher scratch at himself again. The lights were steady in the kitchen, buzzing a low hum into the cold. I mean, both of them could do stuff. We've all seen it. At Fisher's words, I felt I had to say something. What is that? Locked. From what? Oh, I wish they'd tell you the requirements. I don't think they could have done that. My words died in my mouth the second I said it. They all looked at me at once. I met each of their masks, staring at their vacant, blank eye holes. What you say? What? Huh? When's the last time you ever knew crap about those things? You ever killed one of those thingies? I've had enough out of you. Always complaining, always contradicting. Can you shut your friggin' mouth when we're talking about serious crap? You were about to get your head slammed on the table as well, Carver. Hunter was quiet. That fist on the table, all he needed to say. Everyone shut up and looked at him. But Hunter, he was looking at me. I could feel his eyes on me if I couldn't see him. Ask questions. Investigate. I want everyone searching. There will be no failure. No backing out. Carver, we're walking the perimeter. Tanner, guard duty. Fisher, hydroplant. If you find anything, report back immediately. That's an order. We all nodded. RUNT, following what you want today. It was awful having to pick like this, knowing nobody wanted me around. I was too weak to go it solo. Everyone knew this. Every day I had to do this. Every day they hated it and hated me a little bit more. But they wouldn't go against Hunter's word. And as much as anyone would hate to admit it, they needed me. Maybe they would have never mourned me as a brother, but they would have mourned the loss of a soldier, the loss of a warm body, the loss of a meat shield. They all ignored me as I lifted my head to look at each of them. Crap. Each day you'll have to select one of your brothers to conduct a shift with. Shifts last most of the day and can be started immediately after breakfast or after you spend your free time in Skip Claw. You cannot do a shift with the same brother twice in 1 week. Whoever you select to work with today will not be available again. Consider who you choose carefully. Hunter, maybe the worst of the bunch, but that knot in my stomach says maybe I should pick him first. Get him done and out of the way. The middle kid. Sure. He nodded, but consensus irritation at it even crossed the kitchen. Then it settled. Do rounds in the meantime. RUNT. Meet after. I want you to talk to all the loners. Anyone who lives alone or spends most of their shifts alone. On my own? You can't handle it. It's time you started pulling your weight around here. Took a ton of effort to not drop my eyes on the plates on the table. Carver slammed the table and stood up on his stood up out of his chair. You're sending that wimp out on his own? Why we gotta do shifts while he's freaking running around with his... Okay, well, that's crass. Quit complaining us. We want Hunter stable him to your ass for the week. Well, it won't be useful this way. Let's hear on us prying into those townies. Hunter kept his gaze on Carver until he sunk back in his chair with disgust. Runt. Yes, sir. You got that dairy girl Charlie's, Doc, and his pesky twins. Also that... Okay, well, Willie and that radio feller, Red. I know we got more people, but just focus on those for today. You got 3 hours. Make good use of it. He stood. They followed. I don't know, man. Sometimes I feel like we should poison the food, you know? I stayed to wash the dishes. With all the dishes done, it was time to head out. Opening my map and let my already tired eyes trace the paper, deciding where to go. Where'd I start that day? Oh, the icon changed. It's now my mask. After breakfast, yeah. After breakfast, you can either start your shift with your brother straight away or use your free time to explore and talk to people around Skipclaw. Your free time is given to you by Hunter and is the only time you have to explore the world and talk to people. Pissing Hunter off or breaking rules will reduce the amount of hours you have for free time. Visiting a location with someone present and having a conversation with them will take up 1 hour of your free time. If visit a location with no one present, it will not take up any time. Remember, the things you do in the order you visit people can radically change what you can discover. Explore around and experiment. You may encounter entirely different days. If you're not sure where to head, check your journal. It may have leads or clues on where to go and what to do next. Open your map when you're ready to head out. Alright. I'll probably just do one and then close up for the day. For the video, rather. The dairy was right over the hill from the food stores, though you could smell it before you saw it. Hell, you could smell all the way across town if the wind was right. It smelled like crap, hot, burning cow crap. Even with the mask on, it's sear into your eyes. Living there as long as I had, never got used to it. The dairy belonged to the Garlands, though there was only one of them still around in those days. Remember Dad saying the Garlands were the families who settled in Skipclaw way back in 1800 or something. Still thought they were hot crap because their ancestors had had a prize heifer, and that meant they could run the town. And he was right, dunno. The Garlands always had been kind to me for as far back as I could remember. Hard workers, no-nonsense types who always waved back with a smile when you hollered a hello. Generous people, even after the blackout. It was the worst world without them all. That happened a few years ago, after a real cold winter. Perhaps the worst day we'd had there since the blackout. Carver and Tanner were part of a group that had to carry out the bodies and hoist them over the fence to burn. We couldn't hold burials for them, too risky with disease catching and medicine running low. I think that was the first time I really worried about how long we'd last in this world. It didn't seem to matter if we wore a mask or had fenced ourselves away from the outside world when a simple cold could wipe you out. Everyone goes up in smoke eventually. Everyone except Charlize, that is, and her sister, Avi, who skipped town soon after. I saw Charlize there that day, forking hay with from a wheelbarrow out over the fence, and the sight of her made me smile, even with the scent of cow crap on the wind. Is that who I think it is? Charlie is what you call a real looker, even with a mask on. And I'll admit, my heart did a little flip in my chest hearing the smile in her voice as she called out to me. She's kind, like I said, like all of the Garlands. She always treated me like a kid brother, though these days, I don't know. My feelings were all knotted up, twisted. I didn't know if what I felt was friendship or something more. I cared for her. I wanted her safe, and I know I'd do anything for her. But the thought of telling her that didn't sit right with me, as if she needed any more stray or trouble. Morning, Miss Garland. You need help with that hay? Miss Garland, come on, RUNT. I'm only 25. And I'm just finishing up now. How are you, kiddo? Been better, but I've been worse. She laughed at that and struck her pitchfork in the soft earth, clapped the stray hay off her gloves, and swung her thick braid back over her shoulder. How's everyone doing at the farm, after yesterday? I was surprised at first that she had asked how many people in the town actually remembered Dad at all, let alone the day he died. But that was Cherilise. She's the type to always know what was going on, not in a nosy way, but in a caring way. Like if you told her your birthday, she'd write it down on the spot, remember it forever. Well, we're all kinda... I picked up the handles of the wheelbarrow for her. I struggled to think of what to say. Cherilise wasn't that much older than me, and tough. 6 years older. If I remember, RUNT was 19. It wasn't like I needed to hide the heart crap from her. God knows she dealt with that plenty already. What with her family and bad years of stalking, having to live in the world the way it was now. I just didn't want to add to that. It didn't feel right telling her that, just like it didn't seem right to be telling her I wasn't a kid anymore. She deserved peace. She walked right next to me along the fence as the cows chewed hay and cut with a look on their face, like they were bored of us before we even showed up. Yeah, I think she's traumatized enough, man. It was fine. I'm glad. Well, I'm not glad, but I getcha. It's nice that y'all remember him, or make time for him. You went over the wall too, right? Yeah. Dad had gone over the wall the day he died. There had been some fighting amongst Hunter and Fisher about what to do with the body. I remember Fisher screaming a lot. He had turned 20 that year, and yet his voice was not fully broken. All of us born on the farm had been late bloomers, and I got my first chest hair this year. I hope my voice fully drops too. His cracking pleas pierced my memories. How desperate and confused he was. I didn't understand what there was to be confused about. Dad was dead. Some of that day was blurry. Shock, I guess. I can't remember everything that happened. But I remember how Cherilise looked that day her family died. How she and her sister Ivy stood shoulder to shoulder, still as stone, watching as body after body after body rolled over the fence. We fell into silence as we went up the road, coming up to the main barn, lost our own memories. Can I ask you something? Yes, ma'am. Why do they have you doing pickups today? Carver feeling under weather or something? I haven't seen him around here lately. Dairy pickups and check-ins were a task Carver took upon himself with great pride. Ever since he started mixing more with the townies, he said it was smart to breed good relations with the old family. And if Cherilise had to be there, well, what? His words, not mine. It was one of the only things he and Tanner didn't see eye to eye on. Tanner kept his distance with the townies and seemed to hate Carver mixing too much with him. But Tanner kept his distance from everyone that wasn't Hunter or Carver. I couldn't tell you what he's up to. Hunter might know, but even then, with Carver being Carver, I shrugged. I figured, if you do talk or whatever y'all big old manly man do, could you do a favor for me? I nodded. Tell him not to be a stranger. I haven't seen him since Saturday, which I know in a long time, but I wanted to tell her I couldn't, that, in fact, I wouldn't be doing that. Carver, no matter how charming he was, had a bad side, a rotten core. It wasn't going to be nice forever. And if Cherilise, who had been nothing but kind to me, had to be subject to that. You two aren't... Cherilise waved her hand all shy-like. Don't you worry about that. Just tell him, alright? Cherilise, you shouldn't mess with a guy like him. Oh man, the last time I said something like that, it didn't end well. I'm not gonna tell him, but, whatever. I nodded. I couldn't see her face, but with how delicately she spoke, I could tell it had darkened. I just need to talk to Carver about something. I collected a ration of milk, and she sent me off with a hug that lasted just a little longer than usual. No, I didn't. Oh, okay, that's... I expected, like... Charlie's Garland runs the old dairy farm. She has sweet as she is tough. She's all alone now since her sister Ivy left a year or two ago to become a trader. Wait, so there is a dating thing. Or not dating thing, but at least an affection meter. Huh. This is just positive. Views you positively, views you negatively, I assume. Is Fisher the only one who remotely likes me? Well, respect. Whereabouts on Saturday? Why would they do it? How would they do it? What happens on the 5th day? Creatures. Smokes. Clues. What a head. Twisters are disgusting, horrible creatures that showed up immediately after the blackout. Don't let their size fool you. They ain't actually slow or stupid. The wall's been keeping it now for a few years now, but it seems like they're changing tactics and how to get to us. Interesting. Alright, well, with that, I think we can end it here for today. I know it seems like the demo does go on for a bit longer, but that's exactly why I'm ending. If you guys want the rest of the game, essentially, or the demo, do make sure to download it for yourself, give it a shot for yourself, test it out, hopefully have something better than my voice acting, or my narration rather, and see what other choices lead you. Wait, see where the other choices lead you. There we go, that's proper English. Because yeah, this is a visual novel, and multiple choices will lead you to different outcomes, it does seem. So yeah. I mean, just look at this, right? Like, we are fleshing out our main character, over time at least. But yeah, overall, I'm quite pleased with this. I like the aesthetic of the overall game. I like how rough everything is, and yeah, I really like just the post-apocalyptic background of it. I think it's cool about the creatures, and in the 5 days, like it's cool. It's like, oh man, I don't know how to describe it. This reminds me of something. I don't remember what it was, but I don't remember what it was that it reminds me of, but it reminds me of some specific thing that I can't place my finger on. But anyways, point is, it's cool. I definitely do like the assortment of characters that we're currently getting. It's hard to predict where the story's gonna go right now, right? Especially because I didn't finish the demo, but 5 days, right? 5 days seems to be the full game, because that's all our diary. That's where all our diary leads us to, right? What does the 5 days mean? Is there something that's like connected with the religious or cult theming behind this game? The brothers, right? What's up with them? Like, there's so many questions. It's just such a like, obviously it's a more sort of intimate sort of setting because it's more like family and like, just a couple of characters here and there. But it is very, very, very cool. Like, oh man, it's just like, I don't know how to describe it. The point is, the world's really cool. I like the lore behind it. And from the looks of this, we're going to get at least, 3 more creatures. So, yeah, we're going we're in for a treat. I feel like I really like the world that's being developed here. The characters are bizarre, but it's overall very, very attractive world, to me at least. Very intricate. And so yeah, that was the demo to RUNT. The full game releases August 6th, so by the time this game comes out, or by the time you're watching this video, the game might already be out. But just in case, if you do want to just check out the game, do make sure to wishlist the game, because I'm sure it helps with the devs a lot, algorithm boost and all that stuff, and of course you can keep track of when it goes on sale and all that. So yeah, that was the demo to RUNT. I don't know what else to say about it. Yeah, a lot of mysteries left in this game, which I'm happy about. I always love when there's a mystery to things in a pretty horrible setting. And so yeah, hope you guys have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on when and where you guys are. And see you guys next time. Bye bye. See you and take care. Bye.